Welcome back to my channel. In this video lesson, I'm quickly going to run through the fundamental concepts involved in pH and pH calculations and then focus on some tricky points, muddy points and the most dreaded numericals involved in pH and pH calculations. So let's go for it. What is pH of a solution? So pH of a solution is a number that is assigned to the solution to represent its acidic or basic strength. The smaller the number, the greater is the acidic strength. The larger the number, the lesser is the acidic strength. The pH scale runs from 0 to 14, 0 pH representing the most acidic solution and the 14 pH representing the most alkaline or basic solution, and the pH of 7 represents a neutral solution. Any acidic solution will have a small number of OH minus ions, and any alkaline solution will have a small number of H plus ions as compared to the OH minus ions. So that is what is being depicted by this diagram out here. You all can see on the acidic side there are very few OH minus ions as compared to H plus ions, and on the alkaline or the basic side, that is more towards pH 14, there are more OH minus ions as compared to H plus ions. For a solution of pH 7 which is neutral, the H plus concentration will be equal to the OH minus concentration. We come across several acids in our day-to-day life. We even consume some of them, and one such example is vinegar. It is a diluted solution of acetic acid or ethanoic acid, and depending on the dilution has roughly a pH of 3. Ammonia solution is the most common basic solution that we come across in our day-to-day lives, and that is in the form of a cleansing agent. So the solution which you use to clean your washrooms and your floor tiles is ammonia solution, and depending on the dilution its pH is roughly about 11. So to reiterate, acidic solutions have a larger concentration of H plus ions as compared to OH minus ions. Alkaline or basic solutions have smaller concentration of H plus ions as compared to OH minus ions, and the neutral solutions have equal number of H plus and OH minus concentration. Now let's go through the mathematical formulae involved. So pH is negative log to the base 10 of H plus ion concentration in moles per decimeter cube. Similarly, pOH is mathematically defined as negative log to the base 10 of OH minus concentration in moles per dm cube. Exponentially, these equations can be represented as H plus concentration is 10 to the power negative pH and OH minus concentration is 10 to the power negative pOH. And we can also prove that pH plus pOH is equal to 14. Word of caution for you all out here, there's a negative sign involved in the pH formula. The logarithm involved is to the base 10 and is not the natural log, and the H plus concentration is in moles per decimeter cube and not in any other unit like gram equivalents per decimeter cube or gram per decimeter cube. Before we delve into further concepts, we need to learn about the ionic product or auto-ionization constant of water. Water undergoes self-dissociation and hence is in an equilibrium as shown by this particular equation. Water molecule reacts with another water molecule to form hydronium ion and hydroxide ion. So basically one of the water molecules dissociated to form H plus ion and OH minus ion, and that H plus ion reacted with the other water molecule to form hydronium ions. Now the equilibrium constant of this reaction can be represented as the product of concentration of the products divided by concentration of water raised to 2. Now water being a pure liquid, its concentration can be taken as 1 mole per dm cube, and therefore the equilibrium constant can be simplified and written as product of hydronium ion concentration and hydroxide ion concentration. And this equilibrium constant is called ionic product or auto-ionization constant of water. Also, this dissociation reaction of water can be written in a very simple form as water dissociating to form H plus ions and OH minus ions. Now the equilibrium constant of this reaction will be product of H plus ions into OH minus ions divided by the concentration of water. Since water is a pure liquid, its concentration can be taken as 1 mole per dm cube, and therefore the equilibrium constant can be written as H plus concentration into OH minus concentration, and this equilibrium constant is called ionic product or auto-ionization constant of water. Now the value of this auto-ionization constant of water is 10 raised to minus 14 at 25 degrees Celsius. And as temperature increases, the Kw of water increases, and this can be explained on the basis of Le Chatelier's principle. So look at this reaction. The dissociation reaction of water is shown as an endothermic reaction. That means heat is consumed during the reaction. And therefore, if we increase the temperature, the equilibrium of this reaction will shift to the right. That means it will give us a larger concentration of hydronium ions and hydroxide ions, thus increasing the value of Kw. And now we'll prove that pH plus pOH is 14. So we know ionic product of water is product of concentration of H plus ions and hydroxide ions, and at 25 degrees Celsius W is 10 raised to minus 14. Let's apply negative log to the base 10 on both the sides. The left hand side is equal to 14, and on the right hand side we have negative log of H plus ion concentration plus a negative log of OH minus concentration. What I have done is I have represented log A into B as log A plus log B. So minus log of H plus ion concentration is pH and minus log of OH minus concentration is pOH. So therefore pH plus pOH for any solution at 25 degrees Celsius is 14. As I mentioned earlier, the pH of a neutral solution is 7. Now let's prove that it is equal to 7. So I'll again use the idea that ionic product of water is 10 raised to minus 14, and at the same time for any neutral solution the concentration of H plus ions is equal to the concentration of OH minus ion. So as we said, Kw is the product of H plus ion concentration and OH minus ion concentration. Let me take the concentration of H plus and OH minus as X out here. Kw is 10 raised to minus 14, and concentration of H plus and OH minus both are X moles per decimeter cube. So I'll write it as X square out here. So X is equal to 10 raised to minus 7. That means the concentration of H plus ions for a neutral solution is 10 raised to minus 7 moles per decimeter cube. And therefore we can say pH is equal to negative log of 10 raised to minus 7, which is equal to 7. Though the value of Kw of water at 25 degrees Celsius is 10 raised to minus 14, at 100 degrees Celsius is 4 into 10 raised to minus 13. As I said earlier, the Kw of water increases with increase in temperature according to Le Chatelier's principle. So the question out here is, what will be the pH of pure water and pH range at 100 degrees Celsius? Will it be different from that at 25 degrees Celsius? So let's work it out. Kw is the product of H plus and OH minus concentrations. For a neutral solution, H plus concentration is equal to OH minus concentration. Let's take it as X moles per decimeter cube. Let's take Kw as 4 into 10 raised to minus 13, and H plus into OH minus concentration will be X square. So X will be equal to 2 into 10 raised to minus 6.5 moles per decimeter cube. So the pH of a neutral solution at 100 degrees Celsius therefore will be minus log of 2 into 10 raised to minus 6.5, and that works out to be 6.199, which is approximately equal to 6.2. So the pH range at 100 degrees Celsius will be from 0 to 12.4. Now this question is asking you to calculate the pH of 10 minus 3 molar HCl solution. Let's assume that HCl completely dissociates. It's a strong acid, so it will completely dissociate. I put an irreversible arrow out here to indicate that it completely dissociates, and that effectively means that the concentration of H plus ions in the solution will be 10 to minus 3. Also the concentration of chloride ions will be 10 to minus 3, and the concentration of HCl will be 0 moles per dm cube. pH will therefore be minus log of 10 to minus 3, which is equal to 3. Now this question is quite similar to the previous one. It's asking us to calculate the pH of 10 to minus 4 molar HCl solution. So assuming again complete dissociation of HCl, we can say pH will be minus log of 10 to minus 4 moles per decimeter cube, and that makes it 4. And therefore we can conclude that a change in concentration by 10 times changes the pH by 1 unit. So a pH change of 1 unit from 3 to 4 represents a change in concentration of H plus ions by 10 times. In fact, the pH change from 3 to 4 indicates a decrease in the concentration of H plus ions by 10 times, whereas the pH change from 4 to 3 would represent an increase in the concentration of H plus ions by 10 times. This is obviously because pH is a logarithmic scale. Now, what will be the pH of a 10 to minus 8 molar HCl solution? Will it be 8? No, it cannot be 8, because pH of 8 would mean that the solution is alkaline in nature. HCl solution cannot be alkaline in nature. So, for such dilute solutions, Na minus 8 molar concentration is very dilute, and for such very dilute solutions, we will need to take into account the concentration of H plus ions coming from the dissociation of water. In this case, we will consider H plus ions coming from two sides, one from dissociation of HCl and another coming from dissociation of water. Now the contribution to the H plus ion concentration by HCl, assuming again complete dissociation, is 10 to minus 8 moles per decimeter cube, whereas the contribution of H plus ions from water can be assumed to be 10 to minus 7 moles per decimeter cube. So keeping in mind that for a neutral solution, the H plus ion concentration is 10 to minus 7, and OH minus concentration is also 10 to minus 7, and a very dilute solution of HCl is almost neutral. So making that assumption, the total concentration of H plus ions will be 10 to minus 8, which is the contribution from HCl, plus 10 to minus 7, which is the contribution of water, and that adds up to 1.1 into 10 to minus 7 moles per decimeter cube. Therefore, the pH of the solution in such a case will be negative log of 1.1 into 10 to minus 7, and that turns out to be 6.958, which is rounded off to 6.96. So the pH is almost equal to 7, a little bit lesser than 7, indicating that it is an acidic solution. Now I made one assumption that the solution is almost neutral, and therefore the concentration of H plus ions from the water dissociation is 10 to minus 7, and hence I will resolve this question without this assumption to probably get a more correct answer. So let's see how it works out. So in this case, let me assume that HCl again completely dissociates to give me 10 raised to minus 8 molar H plus ion solution. However, we have to take into account dissociation of water also in such a case. So, dissociation of water. Now, let's assume the contributions of H plus ion concentration by dissociation of water is x moles per decimeter cube. In that case, the total concentration of H plus ions is 10 raised to minus 8 plus x. So if I apply the Kw formula, 10 raised to minus 14 can be written as x plus 10 raised to minus 8, because that's the total concentration of H plus ions coming from both HCl as well as dissociation of water. And the OH minus concentration is x. If I open up the brackets and rearrange, I'm going to get a quadratic equation. The quadratic equation will be x square plus 10 raised to minus 8x minus 10 raised to minus 14 is equal to 0. If I solve this quadratic equation, then I will get two roots. One will be a positive one and second one will be a negative answer. Ignoring the negative answer, as concentration cannot be negative, the value of x turns out to be 10.512 into 10 raised to minus 8 moles per decimeter cube. So the total concentration of H plus hence will be 10 raised to minus 8 plus 10.512 into 10 raised to minus 8, and that makes it 11.512 into 10 raised to minus 8. So the pH will be negative log of 11.512 into 10 raised to minus 8, and that turns out to be 6.938, which can be rounded off to 6.94. So the pH of the solution is 6.94, quite similar to the answer we got previously. So although this is a more accurate method of solving this particular numerical, the answers are almost the same. However, this method involves the extra burden of solving a quadratic equation. So very simple numerical in front of us. Calculate the pH of 0.365 gram per decimeter cube HCl solution. Now, as I said earlier, the concentration of H plus has to be represented in moles per decimeter cube. So let's convert grams per decimeter cube to moles per decimeter cube. So 0.365 gram per decimeter cube can also be written as 0.365 upon the molar mass of HCl to represent it in moles per decimeter. The molar mass of HCl is 36.5, 35.5 coming from chlorine and 1 coming from hydrogen, and that makes it 10 raised to minus 2 moles per decimeter cube, and therefore the pH of the solution will be negative log of 10 raised to minus 2, which is equal to 2. Another numerical in front of us, calculate the pH of 10 raised to minus 3 molar NaOH solution, an alkaline solution. So as NaOH is a strong base, we can assume that it completely dissociates. So the concentration of Na plus ions will be 10 raised to minus 3 molar, and concentration of OH minus ions will also be 10 raised to minus 3 molar, and there will be no NaOH left behind in the solution in an undissociated form. So we can easily calculate the pOH using the formula. pOH is negative log to the base 10 of OH minus concentration, and that makes it negative log of 10 raised to minus 3, which is equal to 3. And we know very well that pH plus pOH is equal to 14, and since we already know the value of pOH to be 3, we can calculate the pH, and that will turn out to be 11. This numerical is asking us to calculate the pH of 10 raised to minus 5 molar sulfuric acid solution. Let's not forget that sulfuric acid is a dibasic acid, and if it is a dibasic acid, then when it dissociates, I'm assuming complete dissociation, it will give us double the number of H plus ions as compared to the number of sulfuric acid molecules. So the concentration of H plus ions will be 2 into 10 raised to minus 5 moles per decimeter cube, whereas the concentration of sulfate ions will be 10 raised to minus 5 moles per decimeter cube. And since we are assuming complete dissociation, there will be no sulfuric acid left behind in the solution in an undissociated form. So the pH will be negative log of 2 into 10 raised to minus 5 moles per decimeter cube, and that turns out to be 4.6990. Now this numerical is asking us to calculate the pH of 10 raised to minus 3 molar ethanoic acid or acetic acid solution if Ka is called acid dissociation constant of ethanoic acid is 2 into 10 raised to minus 5. So before we solve this numerical, let's understand what is Ka or acid dissociation constant of an acid. So look at this dissociation reaction of acetic acid. Acetic acid, we all know, is a weak acid. Dissociates partly to a small extent to form H plus ions and acetate ions. Look at this arrow, it's a reversible arrow with the forward arrow being much smaller than the reverse or the back arrow, clearly indicating that acetic acid dissociates to a very poor extent. The equilibrium constant of this reaction is called acid dissociation constant. So I will write the expression for Ka. Ka is concentration of acetate ions into concentration of H plus ions divided by concentration of acetic acid. The larger the value of this Ka, stronger is the acid, and the smaller the value of Ka, weaker is the acid. There's one more parameter which is used to express the strength of an acid or a base, and that is pKa, which is defined as negative log of Ka. So exactly like pH, if the Ka is large, then the pKa is small, and if the Ka is small, then pKa is large. So here is a list of several weak acids. Here for iodic acid, the value of Ka is largest compared to all the other weak acids listed out here, and therefore iodic acid is the strongest amongst these acids. Similarly, for hydrogen peroxide, the value of Ka is the least amongst all the acids listed here, and therefore as Ka is the least, the pKa is the largest. So let's complete our unfinished agenda of finding the pH of 10 raised to minus 3 molar ethanoic acid or acetic acid solution. So first of all, I'll write down the dissociation reaction of acetic acid. We know acetic acid dissociates to a very poor extent. So I put a reversible arrow with the forward arrow smaller than the back arrow or the reverse arrow. Let me assume that X moles per liter of acetic acid dissociates. So the concentration of acetate ions and H plus ions both will be X moles per dm cube, and therefore the concentration of undissociated acetic acid will be 10 raised to minus 3 minus X moles per decimeter cube. Now let's write the expression for Ka of acetic acid. Ka will be concentration of acetate ions into H plus ions divided by concentration of undissociated acetic acid. The value of Ka is given to us 2 into 10 raised to minus 5. In the numerator, it will be X square, as concentration of both acetate ions and H plus ions is X moles per decimeter cube, and in the denominator we'll have 10 raised to minus 3 minus X. Now as acetic acid is very poorly dissociated, we can say X is much smaller than 10 raised to minus 3, and therefore 10 raised to minus 3 minus X can be approximated as 10 raised to minus 3. And if we substitute this in the expression for Ka, then we can say it is 2 into 10 raised to minus 5 is approximately equal to X square upon 10 raised to minus 3. So X square will be 2 into 10 raised to minus 8, and therefore X will be square root of 2 into 10 raised to minus 8, which is 1.414 into 10 raised to minus 4 moles per dm cube. So the pH of the acetic acid solution, as X represents the concentration of H plus ions, will be negative log of 1.414 into 10 raised to minus 4, and that is 3.85. Now let's look at it this way. If acetic acid was a strong acid and it had a concentration of 10 raised to minus 3 moles per decimeter cube, in that case the pH would have been 3. However, as acetic acid is a weak acid, the pH is not 3 but larger than 3, clearly indicating that it is less acidic than a strong acid having the same concentration of 10 raised to minus 3 moles per decimeter cube. Now this question is asking us to calculate the pH of 10 raised to minus 3 molar ammonia solution if Ka of ammonium ions is 5.55 into 10 raised to minus 10. Now first of all, what do you mean by ammonia solution? So ammonia solution is effectively ammonium hydroxide solution, as when ammonia is dissolved in water, it forms ammonium hydroxide. Now ammonia, as we all know, is a base, as it is a substance which can accept an H plus ion to form ammonium ion. So ammonium ion is regarded as a conjugate acid of ammonia. Ammonium ion is an acid as it can donate an H plus ion, and it's a conjugate acid of ammonia, or vice versa, we can say ammonium ion is an acid whereas ammonia is a conjugate base of ammonium ion. Now it is well known that the product of Ka of an acid and Kb of its conjugate base is equal to ionic product of water. Now ionic product of water we all know is 10 raised to minus 14 at 25 degrees Celsius. Ka is given to us in this case 5.55 into 10 raised to minus 10, and what we don't know is the value of Kb. So Kb will turn out to be 10 raised to minus 14 upon 5.55 into 10 raised to minus 10, which turns out to be 1.8 into 10 raised to minus 5. So Kb of ammonia solution or of ammonium hydroxide is 1.8 into 10 raised to minus 5. Now let's write down the dissociation reaction of ammonium hydroxide. Reversible arrow with forward arrow shorter than the back arrow. It forms ammonium ions and hydroxide ions. Now the concentration of ammonium hydroxide is 10 raised to minus 3. However, if X moles per dm cube dissociates to form ammonium ions and hydroxide ions, then its undissociated concentration will be 10 raised to minus 3 minus X. The concentration of ammonium ions is X moles per dm cube and hydroxide ions is also X moles per dm cube. Now if I write the equilibrium constant of this reaction as Kb, which is the base dissociation constant, then it will be concentration of ammonium ions multiplied by concentration of hydroxide ions divided by the concentration of undissociated ammonium hydroxide. So the value of Kb we have just found out is 1.8 into 10 raised to minus 5. Ammonium concentration and hydroxide concentration is both represented as X, so X square in the numerator, and denominator we have undissociated concentration of ammonium hydroxide, which is 10 raised to minus 3 minus X. Since ammonium hydroxide is a very weak base, we can say that X is extremely small as compared to 10 raised to minus 3, and therefore we can approximate down this equation to 1.8 into 10 raised to minus 5 is approximately equal to X square upon 10 raised to minus 3. Hence X square will be 1.8 into 10 raised to minus 8, and therefore X will be equal to 1.34 into 10 raised to minus 4. So in that case the pOH will turn out to be negative log to the base 10 of 1.34 into 10 raised to minus 4, which is equal to 3.87, and hence the pH can be calculated as 14 minus pOH, So 14 minus 3.87, which is 10.13. Now, if ammonia solution formed a strong base and its concentration was 10 raised to minus 3, then the pOH would have been 3 and hence the pH would have been 11. However, in reality, the pH is lesser than 11, clearly indicating that it is less basic than what it would have been if ammonia solution was a strong base solution having a concentration of 10 raised to minus 3 moles per decimeter cube. So here comes another numerical for you all. So a formic acid solution has concentration of 0.1 moles per decimeter cube and its pH is measured to be 2.38. Calculate the Ka of formic acid. So we need to calculate the acid dissociation constant of formic acid. The pH is given to us as 2.38, and if we know the pH, we can easily calculate the H plus ion concentration using the formula for pH. So H plus ion concentration will be 10 to the power minus 2.38, which is equal to 4.2 into 10 raised to minus 3 moles per decimeter cube. Now let's write down the dissociation reaction for formic acid. By the way, formic acid is also called methanoic acid and is quite a weak acid. The concentration of H plus ions is 4.2 into 10 raised to minus 3 moles per decimeter cube. So the concentration of HCO minus ions will also be 4.2 into 10 raised to minus 3 moles per decimeter cube. And therefore the concentration of undissociated formic acid will be 0.1 minus 4.2 into 10 raised to minus 3 moles per decimeter cube. Therefore, we can easily calculate the Ka of formic acid as it is the equilibrium constant of the above reaction. Concentration of HCO minus ion, the formate ion, and the concentration of H plus ions is the same, and therefore we can square it up in the numerator, and in the denominator we have 0.1 minus 4.2 into 10 raised to minus 3. This works out to be 1.84 into 10 raised to minus 4. So the acid dissociation constant of formic acid is 1.84 into 10 raised to minus 4. Now in this numerical we need to calculate the pH of an acetic acid solution having concentration of 0.1 moles per decimeter cube if the degree of dissociation of acetic acid is 10%. So this is relatively an easy numerical. The concentration of H plus ions will be 10% of the concentration of acetic acid taken initially. So 10% of 0.1 moles per decimeter cube, which will be 0.01 moles per decimeter cube. So we know the concentration of H plus ion. Now we can very easily calculate the pH using the formula pH is equal to minus log of H plus ion concentration. So negative log of 0.01, and that makes it 2. So the pH of the solution is equal to 2. So the other day I was looking at the notice board of my building, and on the notice board was a very fancy invitation by one of my new neighbors in the building. The neighbor has invited all of us for a refreshing bath in his new bathtub having a pH of minus 2. What do you think about this offer? So let's investigate. pH of minus 2, that is negative log to the base 10 of H plus ion concentration is minus 2. So log of H plus ion concentration to the base 10 is 2, and therefore the concentration of H plus ion is 10 raised to 2 molar, that is 100 molar solution. Definitely such a highly concentrated solution of acid would burn any of us down in the bathtub. I've been saying up till now that pH range runs from 0 to 14. So can the pH be less than 0, which means negative, or more than 14? The answer is a big yes. For very highly concentrated solutions of acids, the pH can be negative. Whereas for very highly concentrated solutions of base, the pH can be more than 14. So initially when the pH range was designed, it was designed to work for weak acid and weakly alkaline solutions. However, obviously for extremely large concentrations of acids, it can be less than 0. For example, for 10 molar HCl solution, the value will be negative log of 10, which is minus 1. Whereas for a 10 molar NaOH solution, the pOH will be minus 1 and therefore the pH will be 15. However, generally the pH concept is not applied to extremely large concentrations of acids and bases. And also remember, at such high concentrations, an acid or a base may not be fully dissociated even if it is a strong acid or a base. Now the pH term was coined by this Dutch scientist Sorensen in 1909. So he was working in a brewery of Carlsberg beer and he needed to express the acidity or the alkalinity of the beer in order to improve its taste, and hence he designed the pH scale. Many of you may wonder what P in pH stands for. So it was not documented when Sorensen proposed the pH scale. However, many scientists claim that the alphabet P out here stands for potential. So pH stands for potential of hydrogen ion concentration in the solution. By the way, most of the food that we eat roughly has a pH of 7. However, for beer to taste good, it requires a pH of 4. So that brings us to the end of this video lesson. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you enjoyed it, please do share it with others, and if you have any questions, please do ask your questions in the comment box at the bottom. Thank you once again.